Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. We're so pleased that you joined us this year for Migration. I think personally this has been one of the best ones we've ever done, and most of that is thanks to you and the work and your attendance, your comments, your feedback. I really, really appreciate it. Tonight we have a really exciting thing. We've done this, I think, 5 years now. We're going to have some of the best flight instructors and best flight schools in the country come up and receive the recognition that they so well deserve. And we're so pleased to have AOPA here to help us with that, to actually not help us, to execute that. It's really an honor, and again, thank you so much for being here. With that said, I'm going to bring up Chris Mosier. Chris has got the director of some really important thing. I spaced his title, but he's an awesome guy, and he helps flight schools do their job better, which is a super important task. And so, anyways, Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, Josh. So, of course, I am Chris Moser and from AOPA, and I want to welcome all of you to the 2021-2022 Flight Training Experience Awards ceremony. Tonight, we are really proud to recognize the winners of our Flight Training Experience Awards, and I'm guessing that a lot of you probably know that the purpose of that is to recognize and celebrate schools and CFIs that provide a customer service that supports pilots of all levels and really facilitates their entry into our aviation community. But before we explain more about the survey and awards, I am really pleased to introduce AOPA's President and CEO, Mark Baker, just to share a few words.
Thank you. I always kindly refer to Chris as Krusty because he did the Rusty Pilots for so long. It makes sense to have a call sign called Krusty. So, you're welcome. So anyway, I really wanted to thank the great work. Charlie, and even Jerry, he works sometimes. Don't you, Jerry? Sometimes. This organization that I've observed over the last number of years, and what it's really done to help the safety in aviation, the education in aviation, is very significant. So would you mind just giving a round of applause to the Redbird team? Yeah, good idea. Stand up and give them a round of applause. I've actually skied with Charlie, but he doesn't do well. He puts one ski on each side of a tree, Charlie. A few years ago, but he did get a little scar right here. Anyway, I came here as part of AOPA, and I've been around AOPA for 9 years and look forward to many more. It's all about how do we create more pilots, how do we do it safely, and the organization, Redbird, AOPA, many others in here, NAFI, others, are trying to accomplish the very same thing. What we do here at Sun and Fun is invite people to come out and learn how to fly. The thing that I'm probably the most proud of is some of the things that we've done at You Can Fly, and the team will talk about it a little bit more, and you've heard a lot about it today. But it's working. The timing was the right time at the right place. The energy around aviation has never been better. In my 40-plus years of flying, I've never seen it, and the numbers are clear. We peaked out at a number of pilots in 1980 at around 800,000 active pilots as measured by a medical sometime. We moved back here about 6, 7 years ago. We fell down as low as 570,000 active pilots as measured by some type of medical. Between the basic med, what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the economics, what's going on in just general aviation, we're back over almost 690,000 pilots today. And I don't have to tell you that are teaching how to fly. There's more demand than there's supply. And I'm here to say I think it's going to be a good long run. So thank you for what you're doing. Do it safely. Do it the way that Richard talked to you about today. But I'm bullish on general aviation like never before. Good luck. Good evening.
Thank you, Mark. So, along those lines, what I wanted to do is really, again, to thank Redbird for allowing us to present the Flight Training Experience Awards here tonight. This is our 5th time since we started collaborating on this back in 2016. And as I'm sure you all know, that Migration really is, I think, the premier flight training event for our industry. And really what's great about it is it's an excellent opportunity for us to learn from each other and make connections with each other in the flight training community. So we very much appreciate that. So thank you, Redbird. Now, Along with that, I'd also like to thank our sweepstakes sponsors. You can see their logos up here on the screen. And they were really generous in providing prizes for us to help us promote that for people that participated, so your customers participating in the survey. So as you can see, we want to thank Aerospace Reports, Aircraft Spruce, Avis, the AOPA Pilot Gear Store, Jeppesen Pilot Workshops, SiriusXM, and of course, Sporty's Pilot Shop. So really appreciate that. Thank you very much. One really cool thing for the winners tonight, there is a bonus, and this is actually the first year that we'll actually have these here with us too. In special recognition for their contributions to the pilot community, Lightspeed has generously provided Zulu 3 headsets for each of the winning schools and or CFIs. And so they were actually going to get these tonight. So that's pretty cool, and we're excited to do that. So thank you, Lightspeed, for doing that too. Very cool. So the survey and awards are part, as Mark mentioned, of AOPA's You Can Fly program. And to provide just a little bit of perspective on that, I'd like to introduce Senior Vice President of the AOPA Foundation, Elizabeth Tennyson.
Thank you, Chris. Hosting this ceremony is one of the most wonderful things that we get to do each year. Historically, it's been an opportunity for us to get together face to face. And as many people have said over the last couple of days, I am so grateful that we're able to do that again, not just to see you in person, but also to personally thank you for all the work you do to open the doors to our community. Your students are truly the future of general aviation and our entire industry. When you serve them well, you serve us all well. These awards, as part of You Can Fly, are all about getting people flying and keeping them flying. You Can Fly was born really from the realization that we couldn't keep going the way we were. As Mark said, the pilot population shrank steadily after about 1980, and we really needed to turn that around. So Mark, to his credit, recognized that, and he set us on a path to do that, but not with a magic bullet. He realized that that was never going to work. So instead, we took the approach of trying to reach people wherever they might be in their flying journey. And we identified 4 key areas that would help students complete their flight training, learn more about aviation from a young age, make flying more affordable, and of course, bringing lapsed pilots back into the fold. And as Mark said, it is definitely working. So here's just a few numbers. We have an awful lot more, but just to give you an idea of where we are several years into this. Today, there are more than 10,000 high school students right now this year using our high school curriculum, and they are discovering aviation careers and the opportunities that exist for them. These students make up more than 700 classrooms at more than 300 schools in 44 states. And just to bring things full circle, many of you heard right at the beginning of the conference Dr. Sharon DeVivo talking about how challenging it is and how important it is that we bring in historically underserved communities. Well, we're really succeeding with that. 40% of our students are people of color, 21% are women, and 50% of the schools using our program are mid to high poverty schools, Title I schools. And let's also not forget that You Can Fly has helped a lot of other people expand their flying, folks who are already part of our community, with almost 200 new flying clubs, innovative new tools like the AOPA Flight Training Advantage to help you help your students, and of course, more than 10,000 lapsed pilots back in the cockpit through the Rusty Pilots program. And I really want to be absolutely clear, none of this would happen without you. You truly are the front door to aviation. Those Rusty pilots could never complete a flight review without you. Those students could never launch their careers without you and the incredible work that you do. So tonight, we are truly honored to recognize you, the very best schools and the very best instructors from every region of this country. All of you here tonight are part of an extremely select group. And to tell you just how select, I'm going to bring back Chris Moser.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Well, as many of you now know, the Flight Training Experience Survey and Awards are based on research that we did, and we identified 4 characteristics that were critical to providing a really great flight training experience. Those in particular are educational quality, customer focus, community, and information sharing. Now, when you look at them, they sound like simple concepts, and you honestly would expect these things from any decently run business. But in reality, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to deliver on that day and day, especially at the level that the winners that you're going to see tonight, our award winners, especially at the level that they provided every day. So that's incredible, and we really appreciate the fact of the hard work you do and the dedication that you give. I've been privileged and occasionally exasperated to oversee this program for about the past 7 years. It's a labor of love most of the time. I've read a lot of comments from your customers. In some 40,000 plus lines of spreadsheets where the comments come in. But the one thing that's incredible is that one common theme over the years continues to ring true. You change people's lives. Every day, through seemingly minor interactions with customers, you help them overcome fear, you push past insecurity, accomplish feats that they never thought possible, but most importantly, welcome them into your school family, and with that, the general aviation community at large. And for that, thank you. Okay, now what you're all really waiting for. It's time to get to the awards. There are 2 categories of awards tonight and recognition in the Flight Training Experience Awards. The first is our distinguished level, and some of you have the things on the table, and we'll see these up here, and you've seen the loop going through on the PowerPoint earlier tonight. The distinguished instructor in school are ones who provide a high level of customer service to their students. And it all is based on direct customer feedback. This is not something that we come up with. This is direct customer feedback from your students, your customers, your clients. And it's a mark of AOPA's confidence that the flight training provider, is providing an excellent level of training and service. This award is granted to flight schools that got at least 10 independent reviews and flight instructors that got at least 5 independent reviews, both of which had to end up in the top 1/3 in their region. These scores, like I said, are based on that customer feedback, and then we look at it in the survey and calculate it and run the data, and this is where they come from. So let me give you a little perspective on what that means to be a distinguished school or CFI. In the case of a school, there were 949 schools that were reviewed in this year's survey. Of those, 30 received the Distinguished Award. That puts them in the top 3% in our survey group and the top 2% nationwide. I'd like to invite our 2021-2022 Distinguished Flight School recipients who are present to please stand and be recognized. So any of our schools, distinguished schools, thank you. When it comes to CFIs, there were 1,740 instructors reviewed this year. Of those, 88 were named as distinguished flight instructors. That puts them in the top 5% in the flight training experience and better than the top 1% nationwide. And so will our 2021-2022 distinguished CFIs who are present please stand and be recognized. So a well-deserved congratulations to all of you. That is hard work you put in. I do want to mention, for all of our distinguished winners, we do want to invite you up afterwards. We will have photos afterwards. We'd like to have you be part of that group picture, so please come join us. There we go. So if you take a look at the map here, you'll see that the awards are structured around 6 geographic regions. Our hope is that it creates a little bit of excitement, maybe a little friendly competition, but most importantly, we wanted to allow your clients to find the best flight training providers in their local area and be able to go fly with them. From these regions, a best flight instructor and best flight school were selected. Additionally, from each of those regional groups, we have 6 regional winners. One of those 6 will be named as the National Best CFI or National Best Flight School. And of course, the twist, if you've been here before, the twist is the national winner does not know who they are yet. We are going to find out together tonight. This year's survey reviewed 949 different flight schools, as I mentioned. From those that rose to the top, there is one best flight school in each region. This award for the criteria is given to the flight school with a top overall score from a combination of both quantitative and qualitative data analyzed by a committee of CFIs and industry experts in a blind review process. We literally go through and remove all identifying things so that we can then have an honest opinion from the committee and they have no idea who you are. And so now we are proud to announce our best regional flight schools. From the Eastern region, Air Ventures Flying School, and I'd like to invite you, if you're here, to come up and receive your award from Smithfield, Rhode Island. Okay. Air Ventures customers said about them that they had the most amazing culture of any flight school that I've ever interacted with. The culture supports continued growth of general aviation and will contribute to the next generation's interest and engagement in aviation. And it looks like they weren't able to make it. That's okay. We're going to get that award to them. From the southern region, we have Aviator Zone Academy out of Miami, Florida. So if you would please come forward and come right over here to where Pablo is. Aviator Zone Academy should win the award, their customers said, because they provide effective yet invaluable training that keeps pilots safe and flying. From the moment the student is accepted, the moment the student is accepted, they're on top of their progress, and they are able to assist remotely if needed. Well-maintained aircraft, a training syllabus to help students reach their goal. So congratulations, Aviator Zone. Good job. From the Great Lakes region, one of Pablo's favorite regions. Yeah, I know. Blue Skies Flying Services out of Chicago, Lake in the Hills, Illinois. So if you please come forward. I know that Mike and Mike are here. Their customers said, when I began flight training here, I was really thinking of giving up on my dream of becoming a pilot. I had been at another flight school before, but hadn't made much progress. Through Blue Skies' friendliness, professionalism, good management, well-cared-for training plans, and solid CFI staff, I was able to succeed at my dream. And that means the world to me. So congratulations, Blue Skies. Yeah, come on now. In the Central Southwest region, in the pattern, from Denton, Texas. So please come forward. I know Sherman's here. In the patterns customers said about them, it doesn't just help people achieve their aviation goals, they also build long-lasting relationships with their clients. Sherman, who I know is here, and his team look to connect people in the community to one another regardless of their association with them, and creating more of an extended family atmosphere. So you can see that link again. They have a great fleet of aircraft that cater to different learners' needs and missions. So congratulations in the pattern. Come on back. Yes. You're welcome. Congratulations. From the Northwest Mountain region, I know these folks are here too, Ridgeline Aviation out of Bozeman, Montana. Ridgeline student said, my flight school goes above and beyond when it comes to training students. The instructors are incredibly knowledgeable, diligent on safety. They provide support to students every step of the way. I get so excited to show up at Ridgeline, and it's such a welcoming place to learn to fly. Congratulations, Ridgeline. We are loading them up with stuff. And from the Western Pacific region, Sierra Charlie Aviation out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Their customers said, Sierra Charlie's more than just a flight school. It's a family of passionate aviators who support each other and wish to share the opportunities aviation has to offer. I can confidently say that what makes the school great is the community, one which inspires students to fall in love with aviation, to experience what it means to be a pilot, and seize new opportunities with each flight. I've truly fallen in love with this school, and I'm grateful for everything it's done for me. Some powerful words. So congratulations, Sierra Charlie. All right, nice job. Okay. I feel like I'm at the Oscars because now we have our winners and we find out who the national winner is. I now have the pleasure of announcing our 2021-2022 National Best Flight School. Pablo has the envelope. The results have been sealed by the accounting firm of Ida Leica Diswan. So Pablo, the envelope, please. We do not know what will be revealed here. David, want to get a good picture. So here we go. The winner, recipient of the National Best Flight School, is in the pattern out of Denton, Texas. So please come on up. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. In case your hands weren't full enough.
All right, congratulations in the pattern. Now, to introduce our 2021-2022 Best Flight Instructors, I'd like to welcome back to the stage Elizabeth Tennyson.
So as you've already heard, this year 1,740 CFIs received reviews in our survey. But of course, only one can become the best flight instructor in each region, and only one of those can become the best flight instructor in the nation. This award is given to the flight instructor with the top overall score from a combination of quantitative and qualitative data analyzed by a committee of CFIs and industry experts in a blind review process. This award may be won in consecutive years. And now for this year's winners. In the Eastern region, our best CFI is David Strasberg from Northampton, Massachusetts. Come on up, David. Here's what his students had to say about him. David has a creative approach to helping his students understand concepts and provides a clear understanding of everything he teaches. He identifies his students' needs and hones in to help his students improve those skills. I've learned a lot from David, and it shows that he wants his students to succeed. An excellent instructor. Congratulations, David. In the Southern region, our best CFI is Matt Eichel from Mill to ATP. Now, Matt couldn't be here with us tonight, so he'll be receiving his award in the mail. But his students said that he has exceptional knowledge, provides in-depth detail of material, and spends time thoroughly answering student questions, giving them as much time as they need to prepare and ensure they understand the material. So congratulations to you, Matt, and we'll get your award out to you. In the Great Lakes region, our best CFI in the Great Lakes is Amber Peterson of Minneapolis, Minnesota. One of her students told us, "She is the most genuine instructor I have ever encountered. She encourages me to know I am in the right place and that I can do this. She is truly the reason I stay at the school. She looks out for me to ensure I have the right people on my support team, and she pushes me when I'm nervous or unsure of myself." Congratulations, Amber. In the Central Southwest, our best CFI is Steve Fairbanks from Wills Point, Texas. Steve's student said, Steve takes real-life experience and brings it to the table. Learning from him is an absolute blast. Steve is thorough in his instruction, provides positive support, and just makes learning fun and full of laughs. Not a bad kind of flight instructor to have. Congratulations, Steve. In the Northwest Mountain region, our best CFI is Jess Padden from Bozeman, Montana. Come on up, Jess. One of his students told us, Jess is not only one of the best flight instructors I've ever had, but one of the best people I've ever met. He has a great personality, and the way he uses materials to teach and explain the lessons makes it incredibly easy to understand. Other flight instructors are not able to replicate it. Congratulations, Jess. Last, but definitely not least among our regional winners, is the Western Pacific region. And our best flight instructor in the Western Pacific tonight goes to Sergio Ramirez from Murrieta and Temecula, California. Sergio, are you here? All right, looks like he wasn't able to join us tonight. But now we get to the really good part. So, time to talk about the best CFI in the nation. We're proud to announce the recipient of the 21-22 National Best Flight Instructor Award. And in this envelope, sealed probably by Pablo himself, we have the answer. All right. Let's find out who we got. And our winner is Amber Peterson. Come on back up, Amber.
Congratulations. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and congratulations to all of our 2021-2022 Best Flight Instructors in Flight Schools. We are so thrilled to have you and just really appreciate the hard work that you do. So the Flight Training Experience and Awards were created to promote the best flight training practices and recognize those who excel in serving their customers. And I know without a doubt that our winners are doing just that. We look forward to spotlighting them throughout AOPA communication channels this year. And here's a cool surprise. We have the issue of Flight Training Magazine that they are featured in with us here, an advanced copy, so they'll get it tonight. And in that magazine, their pictures are already in there, so they had secret visits from our media folks. They didn't know who they were. But please, if you're one of those winners, we've got some copies. Come up and get some so you can get one of those. The other part is I would like you to come up and join us for photographs. We'll do a group photo and other ones. And again, just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank Redbird for letting us host this here, or hosting us to have it here. And I appreciate you all, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Elizabeth, Pablo, Mark, the entire AOPA team for doing this here. This is an honor to host, and I think this is just a natural fit. So two things. First of all, Mark, thanks for the reminder about the little tree incident. I think it requires some explanation. So there I was, skiing along, and nobody was testing the structural integrity of those aspens. And I took it upon myself to make sure that they were safe. Okay, and the second thing is a beard covers it up really well, so that's it. Can we get that slide up here? I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for Migration. This was a fantastic show, and I don't say this to all the conferences, but this is my favorite conference. I really do mean that. Please put this date on your calendar. This is next year, 2023. April 11th and 12th, we're going to be back up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the new Pilot Proficiency Center that's being opened later this year. So I hope that you'll all put that on your calendar and join us up there. In the meantime, thank you again from the bottom of my heart for coming to Migration. And thanks. Have a good night.